Hey guys, it's time for a high prediction. That was bad. Anyways, so I'm here to give you my prediction of what is currently happening in Dressrosa. We're about 644 episodes in to One Piece. We just saw an insane episode where Law and Doflamingo are facing off on the beach, and we learn about how Doffy pretty much fooled the entire world by saying that he stepped down as a warlord, and that he'd give up his kingship of Dressrosa, right? We see all that, okay? Then we learn that he never did, and that he used the world government to pretty much fool the whole world, but especially to fool 10 individual people, right? Crazy. And then Law tells us this information where he goes, the only way that you could use the world government's power that way is if you are a celestial dragon. And then we sit there and we're staring at Doffy and we go, holy shit, he is a celestial dragon. But I have a prediction. I've been up since 5 fucking in the morning thinking about this. So here's my prediction. If I'm wrong, whatever, dude, I'm an idiot, right? But here's my prediction of what I think Doflamingo is, or what his true story or backstory is, right? Which I do think we're going to get a backstory of Doffy, because why wouldn't we? I feel like the show is kind of setting this up about, especially now, like seeing this, like his whole, like, is he a celestial dragon? Is he not? How does he have this power? Who is he truly? And I feel like Dressrosa is going to give us that information. But here's my prediction. I think that Doffy grew up as a celestial dragon. I think he grew up in a family where they were celestial dragons. He was like that. But then I think he lost his title as a celestial dragon when he consumed a devil fruit and then ended up becoming a pirate. Now, that sounds crazy. Let me explain. So he consumes a devil fruit. He starts doing pirate shit and all that stuff. He starts doing the things around the world. And I think his parents or whatever pretty much cut him off of it. They're like, you can't be a celestial dragon. You have to choose one or the other. So obviously he chooses that way. He becomes a warlord, all these things. But I still think that he has ties or connections to the celestial dragons. Like, he could still use their power to do things. And I think that's how he's been able to get away with a lot of shit. So let me rephrase that. I think that he is a celestial dragon in blood, lost his celestial dragon title because he decided to be a pirate, has a devil fruit, all these things, but still uses the benefits and powers of a celestial dragon because he still has connections, whether it's his parents, whether it's some sort of relative, whether it's whatever it may be, right? So that's what I think. I also think that he is obviously has way more power than I think the show is showing us right now, and we're kind of learning that. I think he actually has a way bigger grip over the world government. I also think that in this arc, we're going to see someone get really hurt in the Straw Hat crew. That could be anybody. I couldn't tell you. And I do think that Luffy and him are going to face off, of course. But I don't think Luffy's going to win this fight. I think this might be the very first defeat in the new world where Luffy is going to realize, like, I need to get better. I need to get stronger again, right? But again, I do think that he's a celestial dragon. I think he has connections to it. And I think he is, like, way up in the tier of the world government, because it is insane to think that he was able to use this ability, use this power and all that stuff to just fool 10 people and then go, sorry, that was just a lie. I'm actually still a warlord and a king. Yeah, and I do think we're going to get his backstory. I think we're going to learn a lot about what happened to Doffy growing up. Who Doffy's like family is, how he got a devil fruit, how he became a warlord, how he became Joker, right? But I do think that he has still ties to the celestial dragons, because he even says too, it's complicated, right? Remember when Law goes, you must be a celestial dragon. He goes, it's way more complicated than that. And then his whole goal was just to pretty much kill Law. I think him saying it's complicated, meaning like, yeah, I may have celestial blood, but I'm not a celestial dragon anymore. But I may have connections still to the celestial dragons, because whether my parents are still, like, I don't know. It just feels like, I feel like Charlie Day from Always Sunny when he's in the mailroom and all that fucking, he's got lines and everything. That's what I think is happening here, chat. I think that he has connections to celestial dragons. I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And yeah, if my prediction's right, dude, I'm jumping out my fucking window. Let's fucking go, dude. Anyways, all right. Bye.